It is November 17th. We had our first freeze probably about a week ago, and so we've already winterized our worm beds. I received a number of questions after that freeze happened about how we do tuck in our worm beds, and I get those every year, and I never thought to create a video to show you how to do that. So anyway, what we did was we took one of our smaller bins or beds that we use to grow out bait worms. So it's our European bait worm bin, and then we cup them out of those bins or those beds. I keep saying bins. We cup them out of those beds. But what I wanted to do was show you the process. So we totally winterize those beds after the first freeze. So what happens here is it freezes and then it warms up again for a couple weeks. So we take that first freeze as our warning, and then we go out and we feed the beds. We don't want to do it too early because when we put that layer of feed on there, if it heats up and we have a stretch of hot days, we could end up hurting the worms, killing the worms. So we don't want to do that. So what we do is wait for that first freeze, then we act on it. We have about a week or so to winterize the beds and then close them down, and we don't open those up again until spring. So this is the process. I'm gonna walk you through it with this video so you could check it all out. So this, what you're gonna see here is obviously our rabbits. We have about 75 rabbits that feed those worm beds, and they make a lot of poop, as you can see. They're a very important part of our entire process. We wouldn't be able to grow worms without them. We mix that fresh manure for the purposes of winterizing with straw and the green material. So that green material can be alfalfa. In this case, we use pig food. What we do is we go to Agway, and they give us broken bag deals. So anything that they break while they're working on it, they give us those deals, and we use those to feed the worms. And in winter, so we'll save up the green stuff like the alfalfa pellets, those kind of things, and we use that for the winter. So what we're gonna do now is just take this, we water it down, get that bioactive bacteria to start to eat everything in there and break that down a little bit. We only do that for 2 to 3 days. We don't want it to go through the heating process where we would normally do that for a couple weeks. We only want it to get to the point where it heats, but we don't want it to go through the process. So then we pile that up on the worm beds about 3 feet deep, and we shape that into like a pyramid or a triangle. And the reason that we do that, so it concentrates the heat in one point at the middle of that triangle at the bottom. So that's where the worms will congregate. Even if there's an ice sheet that forms over that worm bed, the worms will stay warm under that food layer. So then the next thing that we look to do is to add the green material that we've talked about to get that the breakdown going. And in this case, it's some pig food, pig pellets, which are made out of alfalfa and some other grains. We just pour that in on top so that it'll start the activity. We water that pretty well. We don't want it to be soaking wet, but we want to get the pellets wet, and then let the manure. You can see that smoking a little bit, and then we use tech foil as a blanket. So tech foil is an insulation. It's a polycarbonate, but it's a metallic insulation used for walls and things like that. And we just put that over the top of that pyramid, just enough to keep the heat down and keep that bed warm. And then we finally cover it with landscaping fabric. We cover the entire thing, and then we weigh that down with whatever we have, bricks or piece of wood, whatever we have to hold that down, and that'll keep the weather out and keep the warmth in. And we do not open that up again until spring. And in springtime, that will be a mass of baby worms all throughout where that food was. They'll eat that down flat, and you'll have a lot of food. That's it. Thank you.